Why don't people empathize with Sir Gregor Clegane more? He can't be that bad. Oh, Sir Gregor Clegane, infamously known as the Mountain. I get why you're asking this. Even the worst characters have a backstory that's supposed to make us feel for them, right? Let's unpack this frozen bonfire of a question. If you peel back the onion layers of most villains in literature and film, you might find a point in their past where everything went wrong, something that explains but doesn't excuse their villainy. Sir Gregor is a bit different. He's this colossal human, an unstoppable force of nature, decked out in armor and pretty much impervious to pain. His reputation in the Song of Ice and Fire series, or in Game of Thrones for the on-screen folks, is more like a force of nature than a human being. We're talking about a man whose temper is as notorious as his stature, and who doesn't really do mercy or compassion. When it comes to empathy, it requires us to see a bit of ourselves in someone else, or to understand their feelings and perspective. The thing with Gregor Clegane is, he doesn't exactly lend himself to points of comparison for the average Joe. Let's consider for a moment his migraine-inducing headaches. They're a fan theory for why he's so angry all the time. The man's in pain, constantly. Chronic pain can ride roughshod over somebody's demeanor, we know that. But even that doesn't excuse brutality. It might explain impulses, but there's always a choice, right? Here's the thing, though. His actions go beyond the pale. They're extreme, they're sadistic, and they're without any semblance of moral compass or honor, qualities we generally look for when we empathize with someone. He's not just a man making bad decisions or a misunderstood monster. He's the hand of Tywin Lannister, a weapon fashioned by his bloody orders. Digging into his narrative purpose, Sir Gregor's the embodiment of sheer, mindless aggression, the consequence of unrestrained power. It's hard to empathize with a character that's more of a narrative vehicle for horror and fear than a relatable person. I'm all for finding redeemable qualities in deep, dark characters. But George R.R. Martin crafted the Mountain to be barely human, sharing more in common with a natural disaster than with the deeply flawed yet understandable Jaime Lannister. Coming to you from rainy Portland, Oregon, where the mountains we're familiar with tend to be more picturesque and less murdery. Sir Gregor serves a different purpose in the tapestry of Westeros, one that's hard to empathize with because he's written to be the extreme of all the qualities we fear and detest. He's meant to show us what happens when power and pain go unchecked, and I'm not talking about the hamstring kind of pain from a good hike in the Cascades. That's a different kettle of fish entirely.